Hey guys, welcome to That Says Watch Along. Welcome to the review of Kamen Rider Build episode 40. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Burp.
and Makotoa.
Guys, welcome back. On today's episode, oh crap, we're gonna be reviewing for you Kamen Rider Build episode 40. Ew, it was good.
It was a little all over the place, but I still really had fun.
I know. There were moments where the episode certainly dipped and took a huge dip in logic, in order to facilitate the plot. But I enjoyed myself most of the way through this episode. I feel like, despite having the debut fight of Genius, this was not its best episode.
Yeah, and like despite that fight scene looking just like amazing, something felt off about it just being at the beginning of the episode. Because like that kind of thing would usually be a climax, but to have it as like the intro and kind of to foreshadow other things, like that was something I didn't really expect, and it's probably like a unique way to use like a form debut. So I kind of like that way, that aspect of it is more creative use of it. But I don't know, like the way that like the rest of the episode kind of like fell through, like it was still enjoyable a lot, but like it felt weird, you know?
It did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it had a lot to do with sort of the pacing behind it, because there were points where the show didn't even know how to was it transition itself, so it said, okay, we're gonna do a transition now. You know what I
Like
mean?
where
At the beginning of the episode, they were like, oh shoot, I don't know how to process Gentoku's new form!
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we're just gonna switch to something dramatic.
I loved that.
I did too, but you know, there were a lot of different elements in this episode, and not all of them hit.
I think some of the that moment when Build and Grease went over to the other district to visit his mom's house and stuff and all that jazz. And they had that moment before they were going to enter into the area, and he's like, I'm going to go for a walk. And that was just, it just kind of was like, why? What? This is not good right now. It felt like, I mean, I'm glad that they're trying to not let Grease become completely irrelevant, which is easy to happen to the third or fourth and Ranger Rider, right? So it was nice to see the focus, but at the same time, it was just kind of like a lot of some of that time was just wasted feeling.
Yeah, it felt a little basic. It felt a little forced.
yeah, I feel like what it's did to the plot of the episode was good, because like when he was like, oh, I'm just going for a walk, even though he's gonna do the exact thing that Banjo and Sento kind of told him not to do, and go like directly invade Faust and stuff. It's just like the execution of that scene in particular just felt a little bit like boring and felt flat.
There wasn't any creativity put into putting their pieces in place, so they just sort of made it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, we reached your house. Well, I gotta go. And
yeah, I still liked when he was infiltrating and then he got captured, and like the whole stuff where he's got a power boost now. And then we see this new form, but, Corey, I have to say, it's still better than Necrom's. It's still better than whatever the heck he got.
No. Necrom got a new suit.
When?
Kind of. He got a new cloak. And he just got a second Twin Breaker.
Yeah, like, Necrom had, like, the rim. Yeah.
But I don't want to like crap on this episode, because there are some of my favorite moments of Build in this episode.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna set aside the Gentoku stuff for a second.
What are you talking
fight.
about?
Build's debut fight was absolutely beautiful.
That was great.
The way he curb stomped Mad Rogue was just beautiful. But the moment the music ended for the fight, and then it turned into the rest of the episode, oh hey, I'm evil, I'm back, and you can't stop me because there's still 8 episodes.
Wait a minute. He's like about to chase after him.
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't use your super speed just yet.
And I feel like
you can kind of explain it away because Evil has speed powers as well. Like we caught wind of that early on. But I don't know. I feel like giving someone speed powers is the laziest way to make a Toku form interesting, especially since they drop it immediately.
They ain't got the budget to do it.
Every single Gold Ranger so far has had this speed power that just gets dropped within a few episodes. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll probably see it in his fight with Evolt at some point again, because they both sort of can do stuff like that. But
the only one that kept it consistent was Drive, and that's because he's Drive. You know.
Yeah, and that was something that was kind of tied to like the powers themselves. This is something that's kind of like something separate for the bottles. And that kind of is why like the later fight in the episode kind of felt like flat. Like after we kind of see him just go, ape shit on Rogue, and him kind of just like having this little patty cake fight with him at the end. It was just like, wait, like you destroyed him. Why aren't you like doing anything like right now?
I love how you named it the patty cake fight. That's incredible. I love that.
that's great.
Yeah, like that's something that I like saw a little bit more in Amazon's, because their fight scenes were a little more different, but and this one just felt like super lazy. They were just like, throwing punches. Everyone was kind of like taking a hit and throwing a hit, and then Grease just like lying on the ground for the entire fight for some reason. It's like, woe is me. I have been punched and I am dying.
Yeah.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Oh no.
And we're just kind of like, okay, the episode told us that he's supposed to be getting a power up, and we're just kind of like staring at him, just waiting for him to like come to the realization that like, oh, I am stronger now.
Yeah, I don't know. That was another weak beat to me. But, like, this episode hit some low lows. I mean, at least for Build. Like, this is better than any other episode of Ghost or X-Aid, so I'm but when it hit its highs, it really peaked. I don't know. It was a roller coaster of an episode, and I definitely enjoyed myself all the way through. Just, I mean, the cast they're really able to sell a scene. They even sold. They always sell the last time ons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always so interested.
Oh yeah, those. It's kind of sad how that part of the episode is better than like entire episodes of other Toku episodes.
Oh my goodness.
I would watch a hypercut of all of those instead of any episode of Amazon's ever.
Well, we haven't finished the series, so you don't know that.
Okay, fair enough.
But
I want to talk more about Gentoku, man. Like,
all right,
we need more.
Let's bring him back in. This
We need to bring this
man
back.
who is approachable.
He's approachable, man, because all of this.
I'm going to cosplay the hell out of this guy. We're gonna go thrifting. When I come home, I'm moving. All my stuff is gone. I'm moving back, and the first thing we're gonna do is go thrifting so I can cosplay as Gentoku. I'm gonna do the dance.
Oh my goodness. Taylor
Yeah.
made.
And if you guys have been following along on these reviews, you should know that one of my big like gripes with Gentoku has always been the stuff he's been wearing. Like at the beginning of the series, like it didn't like fit like the character that he was trying to like, impose on like the rest of the people, like the authority. Like none of it like really meshed well together. And then when you just see like after all the things that's happened to him, and just kind of like comes to this like realization. You're just like, he just like attains this new level of fashion that no one in the series can truly
They
comprehend.
can't.
And I just love how
They
like
just have no taste, apparently.
man, just like the way like
He's ahead
Sengo's
of his
like, oh
time.
man, this is the
Wait.
first time I've ever seen him in casual clothes.
I'm looking at it again. I'm looking at the scene again. And he's just wearing a Band-Aid. He's just wearing a Band-Aid.
Oh my-
I don't even think he got hurt last episode and he's wearing a Band-Aid. I love this man so much.
Oh my gosh.
Man. Yeah. And like this is one of those scenes where like the quirkiness of the actor kind of comes through and just makes me like just appreciate the performance that they're giving even more.
Yeah.
My gosh, my
100%.
favorite part. Okay, all of it's my favorite, but highlight is every time like the other characters react, there's that audible scream, and it's the same scream from his pension.
And like when he did the like when he pushed his coattails back, it was I love this show. I love this show. Like I said, when this episode peaked, it peaked.
Yeah, like he might be challenging Miss Sora for her idol position in this cast.
Yeah,
It's so good.
It's so good.
Now, there was like one part of the episode where I think when they're talking about the lost bottles and the smashes that kind of go with it, I feel like that was one of those shoehorned things that came into the series just to extend it, the extra 6 or 5, 7 episodes that we need.
But here's the thing. They never actually explained anything about those different bottles. The bat bottle, or the original bat bottle, the original snake bottle, or any of those, from the other 3. So I'm glad they gave those things, something to do, the man-made ones. And I don't know, I think it might have been intentional because we set up the dad, we set up Sento's dad, or Katsuragi's dad, and we also set up the mom, the hot mom from earlier. So, like,
by the way,
I feel like we've technically been building up to this.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just something that kind of happened all of a sudden. Like even though there's been like snippets, it's not something that was like really relevant. Like we're kind of like dealing with the Volt stuff and like what is he trying to do? He's trying to rule the planet. And, like why are these like lower power level things suddenly now relevant? It just kind of came out of
it's because it seems that they're coming from a place in Sento's motivation. And twisting it to make it darker. His dad, who he looked up to when he was Katsuragi, they're twisting that memory and, and flipping it on its head to sort of show him, hey, maybe not everything about the human race is good. Science is not made good. Take a look at your idol. Your father. He's a horrible man. He created these bottles specifically for violence. And I'm not talking the man-made ones. I'm talking the research that Katsuragi was dropping hints to. Michael, you look very confused.
When it was happening and they were explaining certain things like how, wait a minute, why is there, one of those Hokuton robot dudes like standing behind her in the picture? They shouldn't have been mobilized until 5 years after this. And then my dad died at this time period. And those pieces that he was putting together, they sounded legitimate. I couldn't like think up what happened back then, where the status quo was with their information was. But I get the feeling that it does add up, and it's just me not like paying close enough attention, or it's just been so long since the beginning of this series that I lost track.
Yeah. And I feel like because you're assuming that he's dead in the first place, that you're trying to like put these in chronological order.
Yeah,
but we find out at the end, apparently he's still alive, and she just gave a ride to him. And
And then they never told. I mean, I guess it didn't matter at that point.
yeah, I mean, just in case we need a final villain, he's always available now.
I love how it's really cute how they're trying to make the president of Hokuto be the red herring for.
Oh yeah, I love that a lot.
That was
I'm not
nice.
Trust that. I'm not trusting that. It's the mom, and everyone knows it. You don't have to hide it.
I mean, but it also could, there's the possibility that it's not her, and maybe she's like helping the father out with something else, and they're doing their own little evil scheme. Yeah, and they're just like, join the family of evil, and he's like, I'm so torn, and then Banjo's like, please come with me. He's like,
Be the one. Be my one.
Oh my gosh.
So guys, do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, Gentoku's just fabulous.
It is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He rose up to number 1.5 in my list of top 5 characters.
Wait.
Shut up. Let's move on.
Well, I want to plug a few things before we go. Michael and I.
Your laptop.
Shut up. I did a drawing video that I totally forgot to plug in all the other shows. But we did, stop laughing while I'm plugging our episode.
I totally forgot to plug, among other things.
Keep it juicy! We're gone! Y'all ruined
Plugged
it!
I guess we're... Never mind.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna drop in the middle of the episode just to mess with you, but then Gentoku showed up. I'm just like, there's no way I could miss this.